Hey folks, ssjpacman here, bringing you another tech review. Today we have the Corsair Gaming Void Wireless RGB gaming headset. So I was just at Best Buy the other day and I saw this on sale for $79 right now at Best Buy. Normally this goes for at least $99. You can see right here on Newegg, but I mean, I've seen it as high as 149, I think, when it came out, but they didn't even have it in RGB then. Now they've got this RGB'd, and looks like a heck of a gaming headset. I've got their, I think it's about their 3-year-old model. I think this was called the, I'm not even sure what this one was called anymore. It was okay, but there was definitely some defects between this model and the new one. And I'll go over those here in a minute. So let's just get it turned on here. Been using it now for about 2 weeks now. And as you can see, I've neglected to take off a couple of the Money Shop stickers, but so I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. As you can see, it's RGB. I got the white model. Talk about the way it feels. I've got to say that the headband is definitely softer, and I like the position that it sits on the head more. When you're wearing the headset, it has a tendency to sit forward on the head as a comparison to last generation's model. Let's see if I get the ear cups to sit normal. But this one it had a tendency to slide back on your head like this, which made it want to fall off a little bit. As far as it goes, this is a much more comfortable feel on your head. I like it quite a bit. They've changed the ear cup design. The ear cups are now almost triangular in the front there, but they feel much more comfortable. They don't end up pushing on my ears at all. The cup thickness is a little bit thicker than the older generation, but not by much. I mean, as you can see here, it's really about the same, but these have become kind of dense. They're not very fluffy anymore. There they go. Whereas these ones really have a lot of mush to them still. One of the issues that I was having on the old headset was that my my microphone, when I would come out of sleep mode, for some reason, it would make me sound like I was a robot. So I don't know what the heck was going on with that. But the new one definitely doesn't have that issue. As far as it goes, last generation's model, you just had a flip up mic to mute. This does not mute it any longer. The headset does pick up quite a bit of ambient sound. Still working on how to cut back on that. I'm not getting like sound from other rooms, but breathing and stuff like that it's picking up. As you can see here, they've made this out of, I think it's actually made out of metal. I'm not 100% that this is metal yet, but I think that that's metal. But it seems to be a one-piece construction. I don't see a seam on it anywhere. And since there's not a seam, it takes away the places for it to break. You can see I've super glued these several times. What happens is they fall down just like they just did, and everybody drops their headset. It happens. You gotta go get the door, the pizza's here, or whatever. And so that ended up popping apart. This shouldn't be an issue on the newer model. There's no seam there. Where I would expect it to happen now is you can just see that there's a little bit of seam right there. When I feel it, I'm not even sure. That might just be from the mold, like a little bit of flashing that didn't get cut off real nicely. This is definitely where it fastens together, but at least they have 2 fasteners there now, and you can see inside of here it's a metal band. Not 100%. I think it may have been a metal band on the old one, but it's still a metal band if not inside of there. As to the way the ear cups sound, I do feel like you get a little bit of a distancy kind of sound to them. I don't know if they're using a different algorithm for depth or what, but when you listen to them side by side compared to these, they sounded a little unnatural. After I've used them for a little while now, I don't really notice the difference so much when I go from this to like the car audio or house audio. But I can still definitely hear the difference between these two pairs. I do think this headset has a more wide range than the last one, and this is definitely more comfortable than the older model. But as far as it goes, there might be something there. Audiophiles will definitely, I'm sure, have something to say about the subject. But we've got the now where you don't have a wheel like we used to have for the volume. Now there's just a rocker, and it's pretty quick. You can see up here, but it's definitely not as fast as the old wheel. It is a little bit easier to find. The port for the charging is much easier to access. It was always a pain in the butt to get it in there, especially on the fly if you had your headset on. It is harder to find, but easier to put in once you have it there. It is USB micro B, not C. I wish it was Type C, but it isn't yet. You got your mute button right there, power button up top. The power function on this is much easier. You don't have to hold it down nearly as long before it responds. The old model had about a 20-30 second delay before it would turn on. I thought those lines on the side, I was hoping they were going to indicate charge. They do not. They just intermittently do whatever. There's a little light on the top of this saying green that I guess that it's on. I never noticed it before when I was gaming, so I'm not quite sure why it's on. And then you can see there's a red light when you press the mute button. I'm not sure what's up with the green. Like I said, I never noticed that. Well, let's see here. I think that about does it as far as things that are going on with it. Oh, one little touch that they did add is now this is numbered, so you can make sure that you're even between the two cups if that's something that you're anal about like me. I do quite like that that's there. Overall, the fit and finish looks much nicer. There are not a whole bunch of plastic seams on this model like there was on the generation before. It really looks clean. The swivels work nicely, just like they did on the previous one. There's a little bit more stiffness in the turnability of the cup. They're not quite as floppy. The mic boom, there's actually like a multiple ball bearing kind of socket here that you can feel it clicking into each one of its settings. So I don't expect this to loosen up like the last one did. This one is floppy like my dick after whiskey. So that's no good. It does not stay where you want it. This one did have a bendable mic. It didn't stay very well either. This one, it's not as bendable, I don't feel like. Maybe it is though. I don't know. I haven't gotten manly with it yet, being a little girly man over here. So I've just got a couple little pieces of plastic left to take off on this thing, and it's pretty much good to go for final run. If y'all have any questions, you know, hit me up down in the comments. I'll be happy to go over anything. I do intend to use this headset for the next several years, at least until it starts giving up the ghost like the other one. The other one does still work, but this one does not. Let me get into the box here. Hold on one second. Alright. Got the there. And here's what you get in the box. Here's your little bit of box art. The stuff it does. The Dolby surround sound makes the echoey kind of depth weirdness even heavier. Inside the box there was another piece of plastic or a piece of cardboard in here, but nothing really special, just what was holding the headset in place. They did this time give us a nice big long charging cord. I think that's a 6-foot charging cord, which was appreciated. Last time they gave us this little stand for the previous generation's receiver. That receiver I can't find right now, but this is the new one. I do still use their little extender for that. But now I have this nice big long cable, and it is a pretty nice cable. It does look like they put in these wire fray stops or whatever these are called. So it looks nice. We'll see how it goes in the future as far as how well it holds up. There's a little bit of other paperwork inside the box, warranty guide, yada yada yada. Little piece of garbage that came off the USB connector. Really not a whole lot going on inside of there. Good looking box though. So yeah, if you like the video, like it, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.